As World War II came to a close, African American veterans and citizens recognized the contradiction of fighting for democracy abroad while fundamental civil rights were denied at home. A flurry of federal decrees and court challenges began undermining what had been a century-old foundation of white supremacy. Perhaps most significant of these was the landmark 1954 Brown versus Board of Education decision outlawing segregated schools. Born in 1941, Emmett Till was raised in Chicago by his mother, Mamie. Emmett's father, Louis, was killed in combat in 1945. Although he spent his youth in Chicago, Emmett and Mamie kept in contact with relatives in Mississippi. In 1955, the day before her son is to leave for a summer stay with a family in Mississippi, Mamie Till gave Emmett the ring once owned by his father, Louis Till, inscribed with the letters L.T. In late August 1955, Emmett Till arrived in Money, Mississippi, and went to stay at the home of his great-uncle Moses Wright. Soon after his arrival, Emmett joined a group of teenagers, 7 boys and 1 girl, and went to Bryant's Grocery and Meat Market for refreshments to cool off after a long day of picking cotton in the hot sun. Bryant's Grocery, owned by a white couple, Roy and Carolyn Bryant, sold supplies and candy to a primarily black clientele of sharecroppers and their children. Emmett went into the store to buy bubble gum. Some of the kids outside the store said they heard Emmett brag about having a white girlfriend back in Chicago, and also that he said, "Bye, baby," to Carolyn Bryant. A few days later, Roy Bryant, Carolyn's husband, and his half-brother J.W. Milam kidnapped Emmett Till from Moses Wright's home. They brutally beat him, taking him to the edge of the Tallahatchie River, shooting him in the head, fastening a large metal fan used for ginning cotton to his neck with barbed wire, and pushing the body into the river. Once Emmett was reported missing by Moses Wright, J.W. Milam and Roy Bryant were arrested on kidnapping charges in Leflore County. 3 days later, Emmett Till's decomposed corpse was pulled from Mississippi's Tallahatchie River. Moses Wright identified the body from the ring with the initials L.T. Mississippi Governor Hugh White ordered local officials to fully prosecute Milam and Bryant in the Till case. At the time, the murder left an indelible mark on the African American community, especially for those boys who were around the same age as Emmett Till. Reginald Lindsay, today a judge, remembers what it meant to him as a young boy growing up in Birmingham, Alabama. The mantra that was repeated to me, and I dare say to other boys my age, nearly every time I left my neighborhood after August 1955 to go to a place where it was likely that I would encounter white people was, "Be careful how you talk to white women. You don't want to end up like Emmett Till." While the experience reinforced the fear Lindsay and other young African Americans had in their dealings with whites in the South, Till's death also set a much larger force in motion. Ordinary citizens on the ground answered that question in the most affirming way. It began with Mamie Till's courageous decision to have an open casket burial so the entire world could see what happened to her son. It continued with the civil rights activists who used the murder and trial of Emmett Till as a rallying cry for greater action. The Montgomery bus boycotts and the Little Rock 7 followed closely on the heels of the case. The kidnapping and murder trial of J.W. Milam and Roy Bryant opened in Sumner, Mississippi, the county seat of Tallahatchie County. Jury selection resulted in an all-white 12-man jury made up of 9 farmers, 2 carpenters, and 1 insurance agent. During the trial, Moses Wright, Emmett Till's great-uncle, did the unthinkable. He accused 2 white men in open court. While on the witness stand, he stood up and pointed his finger at Milam and Bryant, accusing them of coming to his house and kidnapping Emmett. Despite this testimony and other evidence presented at the trial, Milam and Bryant were acquitted of murdering Emmett Till. After the jury deliberated for 67 minutes. One juror told a reporter that they wouldn't have taken so long if they hadn't stopped to drink pop. Roy Bryant and J.W. Milam stood before photographers, lighting up cigars and kissing their wives in celebration of their acquittal. Moses Wright and another poor black Mississippian who testified, Willie Reed, were smuggled to Chicago. Once there, Reed collapsed and suffered a nervous breakdown. Just 3 years later, Look magazine published an article written by Alabama journalist William Bradford Huey, entitled The Shocking Story of a Proved Killing in Mississippi. Huey offered Roy Bryant and J.W. Milam $4,000 to tell how they killed Emmett Till. Milam agreed and told their story for the record. Mamie Till Mobley died of heart failure at age 81. Her death came just 2 weeks before The Murder of Emmett Till was to premiere nationally on PBS.